Ooh, this one's spicy.
It really is. CNN, what are you doing? What are you doing, CNN? CNN's Clarissa Ward under fire after viral segment freeing Syrian prisoner gets debunked.
Ooh.
I wonder who they freed.
Who was it? Who was it, Nate?
Who was it? I
shouldn't laugh, really. It's quite dark, but
yeah, it's really fucking dark. Well, I'll tell the story. I'll spin some yarn. CNN's Clarissa Ward is facing mounting questions over a segment that she produced in Syria last week about a man who was freed from a prison following the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's government. Verify Psy, part of Pointer's international fact-checking network, looked into the man who identified himself as Adel Garbel and determined there was no record of that person existing. Instead, Verify Psy says it identified the man as Salama Mohammed Salama, a man they say was a first lieutenant in Syrian Air Force intelligence, notorious for his activities in Homs. So despite his seemingly innocent and composed demeanor in the CNN report, Salama has a grim history. He participated in military operations on several fronts in Homs in 2014, killed civilians, and responsible for detaining and torturing numerous young men in the city without cause or on fabricated charges. Many were targeted simply for refusing to pay bribes, rejecting cooperation, or even for arbitrary reasons like their appearance. These details were corroborated by families of victims and former detainees who spoke with Verify Psy.
So a monster then? A monster?
A literal monster.
Well, it's not the first time CNN have lied to their teeth about monsters, is it?
They seem to be running a habit of that, to be fair, don't they? Seems to be running a habit of that these days. The report said that the man has been trying to get sympathy from the locals following his release from prison by claiming he was forced to do those things. They say he's changed his phone number and deactivated his social media accounts in an attempt to erase evidence of his involvement in armed activities and war crimes. The report called on CNN to address whether it deliberately misled its audience, probably, or if it fell victim to misinformation, which they said the network would need to explain what led to the mistake. CNN said in a statement that no one knew that Ward and her team were visiting the prison featured in the report. Bollocks. Bollocks. The events transpired as they appear in our film, the network claimed. The decision to release the prisoner featured in our report was taken by the Guard, a Syrian rebel. We reported the scene as it unfolded, including what the prisoner told us with clear attribution. We have subsequently been investigating his background and are aware that he may have given a false identity. We're continuing our report into this and the wider story.
It's sort of sickening, really, isn't it? Like a war criminal, a butcher.
Well,
an actual animal, like an actual animal.
Yeah.
But at least it wasn't a baker or a candlestick maker. No, look, this is far worse than this, and I'm not sure how far into the story we're going to go. But you see that part where she claimed the guard made them turn off the camera while he shoots to lock off the cell door? Raise your hand if you believe that works outside of the movies. Yeah.
Well, why would they say turn the camera off anyway?
It's a good question.
Oh, turn your camera off. Yeah. This is my special lock shooting.
Yeah. You can't see this.
I don't want anyone to learn it.
Yeah, super secret technique. Look, I look at this. This is why this is the worst thing, because this chick has been accused of making crap up more than once.
Oh my God.
Be under fire one time and just wasn't.
Well, I actually part of the intro that you watched.
Yeah.
Had that moment in time there of
Pretending they're under fire
in a drainage ditch. Yeah,
amazing.
Something war correspondents have, lots of them are guilty of, is pretending they're literally on the front line, that bullets are whizzing around.
Oh, you mean when CNN was pretending to be under fire in the first Gulf War and basically had a broadcast stage set up between two hotel buildings? Yeah.
Remember when Hillary Clinton claimed in Kosovo she was under fire, and it's just completely not true. Yeah, I mean, disgusting. What a thing to lie about, right? I mean,
Ward later posted the segment on X where she exclaimed that in her 2 decades as a journalist, this was the most extraordinary moment, one of the most extraordinary moments I've witnessed. And other people are like, yeah, as it turns out, it's one of the most extraordinary moments we've witnessed as well.
Yeah, you misspelt fabricated. You seem to have written the word witnessed when you meant fabricated.
Red State writer Bonchi called Ward a D-list actor posing as a war correspondent. Released the notorious Assad regime torturer, and then tried to parlay it into clicks. I mean, that's accurate, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, wait till you get the Fox guy. This is great.
Fox News, says, amazing how Clarissa Ward just flushed her credibility completely down the toilet by signing on to this staged event.
Damning.
This whole scenario was fake, bad acting, implausible details. Clarissa Ward is kaput. The guy had a trimmed beard, clean clothes, and manicured nails.
Yep.
They said he'd been in the prison for months. Their Star War correspondent, Clarissa Ward, is either the most naive woman in the world or she was in on the hoax. There really isn't a third option.
Nope. We should watch it. Yeah. It's ridiculous. This is a terribly ridiculous moment in time.
I don't want to give it too much airtime, but I want to show you what he looks like.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the clip. So
have you not?
No.
Oh right. Well, there won't be sound. I don't.
I've seen some stills on Twitter, but I haven't actually watched the footage. But
you don't need
to. I'm not asking to anything, but it's...
I'll scroll through it like this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there he is under the blankie.
As you do.
Yeah. After the door's been shot at.
Yeah, CNN for a long. It's funny when I was a kid, when I was younger, during the first Gulf War, let's say the very early 90s, CNN used to be shorthand for very, very good reporting. Right? Quite often they'd get a scoop on something before anyone else, and
he's got clean nails.
You could sort of rely on it and things. Something happened where they're now truly just completely an agent of subversion.
They look freshly cut, mate.
They're perfect. His nails are perfect. His hair is perfect. He just had a haircut. He's in clean clothes.
They only hung him the right way up yesterday.
He's not even dirty, look.
I know.
He's not even dirty. The clothes aren't even dirty.
I know. The minute I see this chick's name, I'm immediately like, oh, crap, what is this?
Fuck. The worst thing is, it's not just like some random dude, some random Syrian dude to play the part.
Actual monster.
It's the opposite. It's like you couldn't be a more despicable human being. What are they doing? Well, CNN are a cutout for the
intelligence community.
Yeah. That's what they are. They've got a narrative they want to spin, and it comes straight from the State Department, the Pentagon, Langley, God knows who. And obviously this Clarissa come to explain it all for us. I nicked that from someone in the chat. Is just a shill, like a terrible. How do these people sleep at night? I don't know. I don't know how they do. Probably fine because they've got no morals. So probably she hasn't got a problem with what she's doing. But horrible.
God, what an absolute scumbag.
I like I said, I have a low opinion of CNN as it is. This does not elevate it at all. and again, I wanted to cover it here because it just I appreciate that Nate indulged me here because I just was like, oh man, this needs more airplay. More people need to see this because it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely absurd. It really is.
It's a sign of our times as well, of like having zero journalistic integrity. Right? You care nothing for the truth. Nothing. You're trying at every possible turn, every possible opportunity to subvert the truth and reality. A harsh indictment of the world we live in now.
Jesus. Well, there you go. And now we're funding these terrorists, so that's good. I guess. Love that.
Yeah.
Direct from His Majesty's Treasury, £50 million sterling. There you go. Boom.
You know what I would love? I'd love for the U.S. to say, you know what? If you want to be part of NATO, you have to adhere to free speech and your sovereignty of country and all these other things. And if you are willing to do that, then either you're going to leave NATO or we are. So decide if you want to be U.S. allies or not. Yeah, and the same thing goes for the UN. I want us to say, hi, UN, you were super fun for a little while, but now that you're dabbling in global government, peace. We're done. See you later.
Yeah, I would be absolutely fine if the UN ceased to exist tomorrow. I'd be fine with that. And if I found myself head of government of Britain, I would unilaterally leave NATO immediately. I'm just not interested in it anymore. It's an outdated, it's a post-World War II construct. And I don't buy the narrative that Putin is just waiting to invade Belarus and Latvia and Eastern Germany. I just don't buy that. So no, I'm not going to give any more money or blood to the NATO cause. That's my opinion. I think
he wants access to water. I think that's it. I think he just I need to put boats out there because the Chinese will not let me.
Well, Tommy Review says NATO should have been disbanded when the USSR was.
Yeah, absolutely. It should have ended when the wall came down in 89.
Agreed. Well, we'll move on.